temps in the evening hours. It's going to be in the upper 80s, and then as the sun sets, it's going to cruise through those 80s into the upper 70s until we're getting into those early morning lows. We're up north, some freezing temperatures, below freezing at the Grand Canyon, 31 degrees, 39 degrees in Flagstaff. That's chilly. You're going to want to break out the jackets for those. The further south part of the state, we got 71 degrees in Phoenix, 67 degrees in Gila Bend. Some nicer early morning fall temperatures there. But as we get into those highs, we got some nice fall temps for the Grand Canyon, 75 degrees, 72 degrees in Flagstaff. But the southern part of the state, not as nice for those fall temps that we're looking for, 98 degrees in Phoenix, and still triple digits, 100 degrees in Gila Bend. Now for the rest of the country, on the eastern part of the country, we have these storm systems still moving through. And as we look at Arizona, we're pretty dry. But later in the week, we have Category 1 Hurricane Priscilla moving north, and it is pumping moisture up into us. So is that going to help us with our high temperatures? Yes, it will. So for Tuesday and Wednesday, 98 degrees, 99. It's going to be in those upper 90s until boom, we get that moisture coming from Hurricane Priscilla. And then that's going to give us increased chances for storms along with dropping our temperatures. So we're going to be a high of 93 on Friday, and it's going to be in the upper 80s until it gets into the lower 80s later in the next week. 40% chance of rain on Friday, 50% on Saturday, Sunday, and 40% on Monday. From the Cronkite Weather Center, I'm Kayla McDonald. Last week, that weather was pretty crazy and quite unusual. This morning, the National Weather Service announced in their preliminary damage survey that, in fact, an EF0 tornado did touch down in Maricopa County, flipping over this RV trailer right over here. It had an estimated wind speed of 80 to 85 miles per hour, and that EF0 is the lowest ranking tornado on the enhanced Vegeta scale. In the very next day after this tornado event, we saw a hail event that took social media by storm. Everyone was saying it looked like snow on the roads, as we see in this picture here. It almost looks like some snow with all those hailstones right there. And Tempe even saw some hailstones of about an inch. Going into this evening, we're seeing some temperatures in the 60s, which is pretty nice. And then overnight, we're going to dip pretty quick into our early morning lows with our 53 degrees here in Phoenix, 48 in Gila Bend, and up north below freezing, Window Rock 20. Nice. 24 for Flagstaff, 21 at the Grand Canyon. That is cold. And then also for up north, those highs are going to be in the 50s, 52 at Window Rock, 50 in Flagstaff, 52 at the Grand Canyon, and for the valley in the 70s, 73 for Phoenix, 74 for Gila Bend. Now, what we're seeing with all of our pressure going on through the U.S. is we are drying out. We're going to see some clouds move through on Saturday and on Sunday, and what we're having is pressure is starting to dip, and which could give us some extra storm chances coming up on Sunday. So going into that week, we are drying out, so those temperatures are increasing at a high of 72 for Tuesday and then a high of 78 for Wednesday. But those temperatures are going to stick around the high of 76 because we got some clouds for Thanksgiving on that holiday. Nice. And then we see those rain chances come back with a 40% on Sunday and a 40% on Monday. For those low temperatures, they're going to be in the 50s consistently, but because of the rain, it's going to dip our lows into the 40s next week. From the Cronkite Weather Center, I'm Kayla McDonald. Yeah, Thanksgiving's going to feel pretty nice, and this evening our temperatures are feeling nice as well. We're in the 60s and 70s this evening, and as that sun sets, we're going to get pulled into those early morning temperatures where it's below freezing up north once again. 26 in Flagstaff, 23 at the Grand Canyon. That is cold. And for the valley, we're in the 40s and 50s, 54 for Phoenix and 49 for Gila Bend. And for those highs, it is toasty down in the valley with that high of 78 in Phoenix and 77 in Gila Bend, but it won't stay like that for long. Up north, it's in the 50s, 54 for Flagstaff, 55 for the Grand Canyon. And for Thanksgiving, although we have some toastier temperatures, we will have some clouds present. It'll be sunny and cloudy, so it should still feel nice for your outdoor Thanksgiving activities with that high of 78 and a low of 54. And the very next day after that is the Territorial Cup, where the Sun Devils take on the Wildcats in Mountain America Stadium. Sparky's Tailgate is at 4:30 p.m., where we should see temperatures of 73 degrees with some clouds, and concerts on the steps where the Sun Devil Marching Band will perform some of their tunes outside of the stadium, and it should be nice as the sun's setting with 69 degrees. And kickoff, the moment we'll all be waiting for. So the sun will be down, and it'll be a nice temperature of 66 degrees where those clouds will move out, and it'll be clear skies that night. Going into that 8-day forecast, we have those nice highs where those highs will continue to drop off. Sunday, we have a 30% chance of rain overnight, and early Monday morning, those clouds will clear out for sunny skies on Monday. And mid next week, those clouds should return. return. From the Cronkite Weather Center, I'm Kayla McDonald. Winter has been exceptionally dry all across the state of Arizona and has been drying out all of our vegetation. Our extra crunchy friends here are going to be extra flammable, so make sure we are taking those fire precautions seriously this weekend to protect our beautiful landscape. Over the past weekend, Sedona received about an inch of snow, and during the week we had a warm front come through and already melt all of it. But don't let that fool you. We have another winter weather system on the way. So before you think traveling to Flagstaff or Sedona over the weekend, make sure you're watching that forecast. Walking around Buffalo Park, you may notice that there is a new trail. This new gravel path connects the popular park to Mount Eldon's Dry Lakes trail systems. Coconino National Forest says that it's in an effort to connect the park to more forested areas.
Water and utility rates have been going up across the valley, and it seems like they will continue to rise. Phoenix and Gilbert just rose up their water and utility rates, and Chandler is thinking about following suit. Phoenix rose rates up by 13%, and Gilbert had a high rate increase of 95%. In a recent council meeting, Chandler proposed a 15% rate increase for the start of 2026.
It's going to be harder on, I think, some of the customers to be able to afford to pay the water bill, but other than that, I think it's a good thing to do because, you know, everything else is going up, so I'm sure that all utilities are going to be going up as well. So.
Government officials say that this is because they haven't been keeping up with the rising demand or inflation. They also haven't done a water rate increase in a long time. City officials from Phoenix and Chandler both said they're going to start implementing smaller rate increases more regularly to avoid having to do such a large one like the city of Gilbert just did.
But we're always looking for ways to be more and more efficient within our organization. So, and you know, doing that and then looking for federal funding or state funding or other opportunities to try to minimize that as much as we can. We understand that nobody wants to pay more.
I don't think it's going to actually impact the revenue forecasting department at all. But it will be interesting to see how it influences consumption.
Phoenix officials urge everyone to still do their part in conserving and using water responsibly within their homes, as despite having water features, we are still in a desert. For Cronkite News, I'm Kayla McDonald reporting.
Today is the 21st annual Pats Run honoring veteran and former ASU NFL football player Pat Tillman, who passed away while serving in the Army. Over 30,000 people are here for the 4.2-mile run during this record-breaking heat week in April. The previous record of 99 degrees is set to be broken during the run.
You can start seeing a lot of people dehydrating, kind of stepping aside. Saw a couple people throwing up.
Today, the forecast says we're predicted to reach 100 degrees. Despite the super hot forecast, still 30,000 participants have shown to the Pats Run to honor Pat Tillman's legacy. The runners have been telling me what they've been doing to prepare for today's run with the hot forecast in mind.
I did prepare a little bit, so I was just taking in more fluids throughout the week. I did notice that it was going to be one of those hot weekends, so I'm just glad I started towards the beginning around that 7:30 mark because it was going to be hot today.
Just stay hydrated. I made sure to drink lots of water yesterday, this morning, drank my electrolytes, and yeah, just staying hydrated is important for this run.
I just wore white and drank a lot of fluids. Really, that's all I had to do, you know. I'm used to the heat.
After the run, participants were given water and oranges to help rehydrate and regain electrolytes. During the run, there were splash stations to help runners cool off as well.
I really love the way that they had these stations where they just dumped water on you. I'm pretty soaked coming out, but it was fun all around.
For Cronkite News, I'm Kayla McDonald reporting.
From the movie screen to the scene. Wicked, the original Broadway musical, is on tour, and it is here at ASU Gamage.
The Gamage box office said the Wicked movie helped ticket sales and prices soar as $1 million worth of tickets were sold right after the movie release.
Wicked the musical is actually the first musical I've ever watched. I watched it for my 6th birthday with my mom, and that musical is very special to me because it's what made me want to get into acting and singing in general, and that's why I'm here at ASU pursuing my master's in opera performance.
I have not seen the live musical Wicked. I mean, I've seen snippets of it on YouTube, but you can kind of get the context from that. I have watched the movie Wicked. It's a lot of fun. I know that there is a showing at the Gamage over there, but with time, I just don't have the time to go watch it. But if I did, I would love to go see it.
I actually have never seen it in person, but I know the story pretty well. I just actually watched the movie. I'm a little late to the game, but I fell in love with it like all over again. I think that the movie has exposed a lot of people to musical theater, and I think that's what the arts community needs right now.
So far, 13 showings have been sold out, and the 6 remaining shows have 5 or less tickets left. For Cronkite News, I'm Kayla McDonald reporting.